Okay, now this one. I don't think it's been done before, and what a surprise to find this. It's just a little longer, and I'll do my best. I don't remember, when did Billy call? Is he still alive?
Yeah.
He's still alive, okay. So think of this. The title of this poem is Taking Off Emily Dickinson's Clothes. This is a fantasy thing, I think, going on, a little historical fiction. First, her tippet made of tulle easily lifted off her shoulders and laid on the back of a wooden chair. And her bonnet, the bow undone, with a light forward pull. Then the long white dress, a more complicated matter, with mother-of-pearl buttons down the back, so tiny and numerous that it takes forever before my hands can part the fabric, like a swimmer's dividing water and slip inside. You will want to know that she was standing by an open window in an upstairs bedroom, motionless, a little wide-eyed, looking out at the orchard below, the white dress puddled at her feet on the wide-board hardwood floor. The complexity of women's undergarments in the 19th century America is not to be waved off, and I proceeded like a polar explorer through clips, clasps, and moorings, catches, straps, and whalebone stays, sailing toward the iceberg of her nakedness. Later, I wrote in a notebook, it was like riding a swan into the night. But of course, I cannot tell you everything. The way she closed her eyes to the orchard, how her hair tumbled free of its pins, how there were sudden dashes whenever we spoke. What I can tell you, it was terribly quiet in Amherst that Sabbath afternoon. Nothing but a carriage passing the house, a fly buzzing in a window pane. So I could plainly hear her inhale when I undid the very top hook and eye fastener of her corset. And I could hear her sigh when finally it was unloosed, the way some readers sigh when they realize that hope has feathers, that reason is a plank, that life is a loaded gun that looks right at you with a yellow eye. Is that a way? That's
So in our lives, we have been adopted by the most delightful 11-pound tabby cat named Minx, M-Y-N-X. He's into everything. Every drawer that gets opened, every faucet that gets turned on, anything, he's just so delightful. He's so happy that he hops out the door and he hops back in again. Just so delighted with everything. And the other day we were looking at him and happened to notice that he's perfectly marked. The stripes are symmetrical everywhere. That on his forehead, right above his eyes, is a distinct M. And his fascination with water, if you can imagine, first early morning pee. He loves this bathroom. Everything in the bathroom. Turn the first on. I'm sitting on the cot, and there's just enough space between the seat and the bowl that he can see the stream going down. And he tries to stick his foot. I cracked up. It's a good thing I was already sitting down or I had to wet my pants. Okay, so we know that I like to start off with humor. And so I haven't yet had a chance to practice this one. Normally, the super senior fitness class that I get to go to, I practice on them first, and if they laugh, then, but I haven't got it done yet, so I didn't get it memorized. A university computer science professor gave her class an assignment. She asked them to determine the gender of the computer. After much lively discussion, the class was evenly divided. Men thought the computer was a female, and the women thought it was a male. Each group cited 4 reasons for their conclusion. The men. No one but their creator understands their internal logic. When computers speak to each other, they use a coded language that only they and a computer expert can understand. Every mistake you've ever made is stored on their hard drive for later retrieval. And as soon as you commit to one, you spend half your paycheck on accessorizing. The women, in order to get the computer's attention, you have to turn them on. Computers have a lot of data and still can't think for themselves. They are supposed to help you solve problems, and half the time they are the problem. And this last one, as soon as you commit to one, you realize if you'd waited a little longer, you could have gotten a better model. It must be wind. Oh, my mother's here.
Yeah, there's
So, this is a poem by Rumi, 12,007 to 1273, so the year 1200. And I'm not sure who did the translation. I find it a little difficult, so I have made a few amendments just to make it flow easier. So the title is, What Was Told That? And I am saying, that what was told. What was said to the rose that had made it open was said to me here in my chest. What was told to the cypress that made it strong and straight? What was whispered to the jasmine? So it is what it is. Whatever made sugar cane sweet, whatever was said to the inhabitants of the town of Shigil in Turkestan that makes them so handsome, whatever lets the pomegranate flower blush like a human face, that is being said to me now. I blush. Whatever put eloquence in language, that's happening here. The great warehouse doors open. I fill with gratitude, chewing a piece of sugar cane, in love with the one to whom every that belongs.
No.
Okay. I noticed in the email that it was suggested that we keep it to 9 minutes. I timed it in front of the mirror, and except for some of my little ad-libs, I think I've got it. So this is Helplessly Hoping by Stephen Stills. Helplessly hoping her harlequin hovers nearby, awaiting a word, gasping at glimpses of gentle, true spirit. He runs, wishing he could fly, only to trip at the sound of goodbye. Wordlessly watching, he waits by the window and wonders at that empty place inside. Heartlessly helping himself to her bad dreams, he worries. Did he hear a goodbye? Or even hello? They are one person. They are two alone. They are three together. They are four each other. Stand by the stairway, you'll see something certain to tell you that confusion has its cost. Love isn't lying, it's loose in a lady who lingers, saying she is lost and choking on hello. They are one person. They are two alone. They are three together. They are four each other. Praise song for the day. I wanted to find something, gratitude, thanksgiving, breathe in and receive, breathe out and give. There is a saying that the finest prayer is thank you. This is a poem by Elizabeth Alexander, written for Barack Obama's presidential inauguration. Each day we go about our business, walking past each other, catching each other's eyes or not, about to speak or speaking. All about us is noise, All about us is noise and bramble, thorn and din, each one of our ancestors on our tongues. Someone is stitching up a hem, darning a hole in a uniform, patching a tire, repairing the things in need of repair. Someone is trying to make music somewhere, with a pair of wooden spoons on an old oil drum, with cello, boombox, harmonica, voice. A woman and her son wait for the bus. A farmer considers the changing sky. A teacher says, "Take out your pencils, begin." We encounter each other in words, words spiny or smooth, whispered or declaimed, words to consider, reconsider. We cross dirt roads and highways that mark the will of someone and then others who said, "I need to see what's on the other side." I know there's something better down the road. We need to find a place where we are safe. We walk into that which we cannot yet see. Say it plain, that many have died for this day. Sing the names of the dead who brought us here, who laid the train tracks, raised the bridges, picked the cotton and the lettuce, built brick by brick the glittering edifices they would then keep clean and work inside of. Praise song for struggle, praise song for the day, praise song for every hand-lettered sign, the figuring it out at a kitchen table. Some live by love thy neighbor as thyself, others by first do no harm or take no more than you need. What if the mightiest word is love? Love beyond marital, filial, national, love that casts a widening pool of light, love with no need to preempt a grievance. In today's sharp sparkle, this winter air, anything can be made, any sentence begun. On the brink, on the brim, on the cusp, praise song for walking forward in that light.
Yay. Thank you, Elaine.
You're welcome, and it's only because it's a small room that I don't need a microphone.
Yeah.
No, you could do it in the gymnasium.
All right. Let's see what we got next.
You have a voice that carries. It's nice voice.
9 minutes and 12
So we'll have to take 12 seconds off of next. Betsy, come on up.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if you maybe forgot me. What? No,
Hey.
you didn't forget me. Well, hi everybody.
Hi.
I know all of you. That's okay. I can't lose by doing William Stafford, so I'll do this one. Probably people have heard it. Malheur before dawn. An owl sound wandered along the road with me. I didn't hear it. I breathed it into my ears. Little ones, at first the stars retired, leaving polished little circles on the sky for a while. Then the sun began to shout from below the horizon. Throngs of birds campaigned, their music a tint of sound. From across the pond, out of the mist, one drake made a V and said its name. Some vast animal of air began to rouse from the reeds and lean outward. Frogs discovered their natural anthem again. I didn't know a ditch could hold so much joy. So magic a time it was that I was both brave and afraid. Someday like this might save the world. I love the way Kim has it set up for you, Michael, too. You see the pile of books there? Those are all, you could just open one up.
There you go. Yeah.
But I tried to get this one open, and it turns out the poems are really long, and you'd be lost, and I'd be lost. So we can't do that, I guess. Okay, I'm going to read one of Hal.
All right.
Hal. It is called Circles.
Circles.
In the morning, as the dreaming world wakes and the fog climbs ghostly toward the sky, many birds sing the dawn of new hours, and still darkness without starlight turns pale. Butterflies bounce full-blown across noon when day paints earth in pastel flowers. Mad, mad melody mounts a crescendo, and the shadows dance back into the void. At evening, when the quiet sky closes, the red sun sinks slowly in the sea. Sometimes something tunes a fiddle to the hush, and drowsy colors play no more at life. Maya ripples the pool of illusion, tenderly twinkling 10,000 bright eyes. Okay, well, I'll just do one of mine. I already did it, but I don't have anything new.
Do it.
I'll really do it.
Do it.
Yeah. Okay, the river said, I sit by the river. Well, it was right after, what? Torrents of rain. Where's it after the snow? Yeah, it was after the snow.
Last year?
Yeah, last
Oh,
year.
Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Snowmageddon.
I sit by the river, a torrent of ground, almost roaring to whomever might hear. Impermanence, impermanence. The big trees are still startled. Some of them toppled. A whole tree rumbled by. I sit by the river, trying to lay down my concepts, feel the gratitude this world deserves. Impermanence, impermanence. The bold tulip tree, even you have jagged wounds left from snow pruning. But does that stop you? Buds swell into powerful flowers, bright, unfettered gifts. I sit, hearing the strong river song, giving my all to sit clear and open. Impermanence, impermanence. I think of dear family, friends, some with death close by, sickness, old age. I think of that guy named Frank that the psychic noticed, who hovers in the corner protecting his little corner. Oh, kindness exists for a reason. My heart aches, compassion. Beneath these great trees, looking way up at the pattern of branches, light and soft lichen, peace floods down. I sit by the river, dropping habits of clinging that binds me to a web that seems so real, actually alive with magic. I sit here, knowing every atom in constant motion, like the river in impermanence, impermanence. Sitting in a splendid awareness, quiet, honoring connection here, giving it time. Okay, so Dean's story about seeing the blue whales. I went blue whales. We saw a movie the other weekend called Plastic Ocean. It started out with blue whales, and this guy that just loved blue whales from the time he was a little kid. He wanted to go follow blue whales. Beautiful, beautiful photos of the blue whales in the ocean and all this clarity, and then all of a sudden it becomes plastic, and it's such a sad story. You know, yeah, like think ocean of suffering. That's a Buddhist term. Okay, ocean of suffering. It's just hit me so deep and motivating. And there is somebody in Cottage Grove who's taken up the recycling thing. He has done such a service for all of us because he's figured out. Yeah, farmers market, and he's cooperating with the city. He's got something promoting, but also he's figured out how to source where to sell all this stuff. That we bring him as plastic, all our plastic. We have to be specific about it, but it's very motivating.
Yes.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so then I pulled out my John Trudell.
All right.
Look at his face. You want to see his face?
No, can't see it.
He's got this great big smile. He's like so beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, he's no longer alive. John Trudell. He was a poet and
Oh, okay,
Lakota, I think, activist, and anyway, he's really quotable. But when you want to be motivated, it's good to have somebody who's like lives the life respectfully. But anyway, he talks about we have power. Our power isn't in a political system or a religious system or in an economic system or in a military system. These are authoritarian systems. They have power, but it's not reality. The power of our intelligence, individually or collectively, is the power. This is the power that any industrial ruling class truly fears. Clear, coherent human beings. Every human being is a raindrop, and when enough of the raindrops become clear and coherent, they then become the power of the storm. Yeah. We must go beyond the arrogance of human rights. We must go beyond the ignorance of civil rights. We must step into the reality of natural rights. Because all of the natural world has a right to existence. And we are only a small part of it. There can be no trade-off.
Yeah. Thank you, Betsy. I'm going to do something next. I brought a guitar back from California that I've left down there for years, and I really missed it, so I brought it here tonight to play. It's got a nice bottom end, but it doesn't have any amplification, so I'm just going to play it acoustic. Okay?
Another mic for you if you want a second mic.
You have a second mic?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to try it?
It's working right there.
Okay, we'll try a microphone. Okay. Anyway, I was inspired by the writer. Well, anybody who knows me, I've done a lot of music to Spanish poets, especially Juan Ramon Jimenez and Antonio Machado. And lately I've been reading some writings by Jim Harrison, and it turns out he was obsessed by Antonio Machado, so he's nudged me to find some of Machado's poetry to put to music, and that I've done. So we're going to get this together, and then we'll do some music.
Just take a sec.
Take a sec.
Are you going to stand or sit?
I will sit for this one, because I don't have the words quite engraved in my memory, so I'm going to have to read it off a page.
Here's the stand.
It's a book of Antonio Machado. That's Antonio Machado himself. And this is Jim Harrison, the gourmand. Turns out that Harrison had, in his house, he's got this picture hanging on his kitchen wall of Antonio. Yeah, yeah. He, when Antonio fled Spain in 1939, he went to France, and he had his mother on his lap. The car was full of people, and one of his collections of poetry got lost. So Harrison was trying to figure out where he might have lost it, and he did all these trips to France to try to recover Antonio's writings. He never did, but I thought it was just a beautiful story, and it inspired me to do some more shots. Okay. I wrote down a quote from Emily Dickinson. I just wrote it down today. She says, "To live is so startling, it leaves little time for anything else." Let's see. That Billy Collins guy. I've been running around the room.
That is a rogue.
Clips, clasps, and mournings.
Oh, I can accompany the way.
Yeah. I'm at the end. Yeah. Okay. California guitar.
Kind of nice to do this not at the bar, right?
Yes.
It's quiet.
Yeah, yeah. Shh.
We could all hum the Jeopardy theme or something.
That's a monologue.
Throw some pool balls around.
I know when Bobby Fischer was playing the Russian guy, right? There was up in Iceland, and every little sound he was really bothered by. There's like a fly that was on the window. Shh. So this is still being shaped. It's not, you know, I'm shaping it as every time I play it. But I like the shape it's in right now. But it's not finished. So you'll get to witness me juggling motifs. How you doing, Kim?
Good, go.
Oh, no? Okay.